Hi, I'm Dr. Meg, and today I'm going to be talking about the two different kinds of writers, and I have advice for both when it comes to college admissions. Stay tuned. So the first kind of writer is in science fiction and other circles called a pantser. This is a writer who writes by the seat of their pants. They don't plan it out, they just do it. I, as a writing teacher, would always call this the student who thinks by writing or thinks through writing. That is, they figure out what they want to say by just saying it. And they're actually working it out draft after draft on the page. So a writer like this is going to tend to have a big output. They're going to write pretty fast, and the writing will tend to be sort of loose and will get more refined over time. So my advice for this type of writer is simply to leave a lot of time so that they can write a draft, let it sit, figure out what's, because it takes some time to get a little distance from it. So get started way sooner than you think. That's my advice generally for college applications, but especially for this kind of writer. The other kind of writer, and it's the kind that I am, is called a plotter. Or the way I would always think of it is the person who thinks and then writes. Full disclosure, I always thought that I wasn't like a real writer because I couldn't just sit down and write. For me, output is always actually pretty challenging, and I've been known to steal like half sentences that I liked from previous drafts or from other things because I don't want to have to write them anew because it takes me some time to formulate things. If I may generalize, people who think and then write, often their writing comes out maybe a little more fully formed, but there's a lot more time that it takes to think it through. So my first bit of advice is don't compare yourself. It's not bad that it takes you a long time to write. Our society is so obsessed with getting things done quickly. Some things take time. And I don't need to be a different kind of writer. You don't need to be. I know a lot of pantsers who feel like, oh, I wish I just would write more clearly the first time. We're all made differently, and it just helps to know who we are so that we could work with our own energy and patterns. So if you're someone who tends to get blocked and tends to kind of get stuck in the like, when am I going to write process, right? Because that unfortunately is a big part of this type. And I have struggled with writing block for many, many years. I'm really interested by what writing block is. I think it can really help if you figure out a way around the block. So don't just sit with a blank page staring at you. Go for a walk. If you've got a phone that can record memos, you're set. Because a lot of times people who get stuck just like trying to write something, they can talk it through with someone. And if you don't have a friend who wants to talk it through with you, which is great if you do, just talk to your phone. I do this. This is how I wrote my whole dissertation. You can go one step up. You can actually dictate a draft. Sometimes a kid who gets really stuck writing an essay just sitting in front of their computer can dictate a draft in 10 minutes. And once you have a rough draft, you've got something. You can fix it up. All you need to have is a crappy first draft. So when it comes to writing essays, it's important you know what kind of writer you are and that you're in acceptance of that and you're not trying to be something that you're not. Just work with your energy. There are workarounds for every type, and I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has, please make sure to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to sign up for my freebies. I've got a great quiz for parents when it comes to college admissions. What kind of parent are you? I also have a free ebook, my top 10 tips for massively reducing stress in the college admissions process. Thanks. That's all for now. I'm Dr. Meg.